Hi Jumbo. Today is a weekend, and I want us to take a weekend road trip to a place called Garissa in northeastern province. When you hear of Garissa, many people in Kenya think of insecurity and the like. But I can tell you, what I'm going to give you today is an idea which you can actually start actualizing very soon. You need to start knowing the rest of Kenya, and this is a one road trip which can really change your mentality on some places in Kenya. So Garissa from Nairobi is around 367 kilometers, and the road from Garissa to Nairobi is called Thika Garissa Road. It's a one-way road and you can't get lost, and it's all tarmac, and I will tell you it's one of the best roads in Kenya. So let's take a road trip from Nairobi to Garissa. Of course, you drive, if you are from Nairobi town, you drive to Thika, around 50 kilometers. Immediately after Thika, you'll find Kilimambogo, a small township, but just overlooking the Mount Kilimambogo. Mount Kilimambogo is a place where you can actually see lots of buffaloes when you go up to the tip. From Kilimambogo, you'll drive to a place called Matu. Just after Matu, there is a small town called Kanyonyo. Kanyonyo is the junction of the road ending to Embu through the Seven Forks Dam. Kindaruma, Kilimambogo, all those kind of dams. The Seven Forks Dam, Kiambere, Kindaruma, Kaburu, all those dams, you'll find them along that road. Then from there, like 10 kilometers, you'll find the junction of the junction leading to Kitui town in a small junction spot called Kalandini. And then you'll now drive all the way to Mwingi. So from Nairobi to Mwingi is around 170 kilometers. So after Mwingi, you drive past Mwingi to a small town called Nguni. Just before Nguni, like a kilometer before Nguni, there is a small motel called Kayamba Park on the right, where you can stop over and have a cold drink. Then proceed from Nguni to a place called Ukasi. Ukasi is around 230 kilometers from Nairobi. So from Ukasi, you go around 60 kilometers to a place called Bagali. And between Ukasi and Bagali, you'll be able to see lots of antelopes. The reason being, that area is inhabited by the Somali people who don't kill the wild animals, the wild animals. So you'll find the dig-digs and all those other antelopes which have run away from the Akamba, because Akamba like hunting them. So you'll find them crossing the road, and there are just too many, especially at night. So from Bangali, you drive to a junction, a small junction, we call it Chuma Mrefu, because of those communication masts. So that is the junction heading to Ola and all the way to Malindi. Then from that junction, you just go to Garissa town. It's not far from there. But before crossing Garissa is immediately after crossing Tana River. So Garissa is a huge town which crosses all the way to Tana River, the other side of Tana River. So before crossing Tana River, there is a small town called Mandogo. Mandogo is actually in Tana River County, but it's just an extension of Garissa, because they are just immediately after you cross the river, you go to Garissa town. And one myth about Mandogo is if you do a mistake there and you get arrested, you'll be taken all the way to Ola 150 kilometers from there to face justice. So, and you could have just crossed the river there, like few meters, to be tried in a court just across the river. But that's the beauty about counties. So we've now crossed the river to Garissa town. In Garissa town, there are beautiful hotels. There's the old Norman Palace, which is not far from the bridge, just around 200 meters from the bridge. Before the Norman Palace, you can take the first turn on your right and go to Palm Oasis, which was formerly Almond Resort. I was associated with Almond Resort at some time. And then there's also the Lantern Resort and few other hotels. So spend the night. The nights are very cool. Most hotels have ACs, a bit harsh at night, even during the day, but it's you can as a Kenyan you can manage. So in the morning you can drive about 15 minutes from Garissa town to Garissa Community Giraffe Sanctuary. It's just near Garissa town. It was set up to host internally displaced giraffes that had been affected by the Kenya-Somalia skirmishes. And a few years ago, I learned about the sanctuary hosting a rare family of white giraffes. So it's quite an interesting area to visit in the morning. You'll also see lots of dik-dik and other small animals, and small antelopes. Then around noon, you can start your journey back to Nairobi, arriving in Nairobi before 6 in the evening. Quite an interesting road trip. Kindly plan. I can organize this for you if you wish. It will be a very interesting road trip for family or friends. Yeah, so let's keep discovering parts of Kenya. Continue subscribing and sharing, and let's continue talking tourism. Thank you.